Hi, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this session is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar, which is an online gaming club. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. We are playing 5th edition D&D with the Ravnica setting, which is the primary purpose because I really like Ravnica, kind of an urban setting, taking a lot of cues from Blades in the Dark and that sort of thing. We have our characters generally introduced from before, but we're adding in a new character. We're going to have them introduce themselves, and we'll kind of talk about how they're connected. So, Joe, let me give you the email I sent you. I gave you the real basic rundown. We've got this villain who is an elf operating Tithios Vec at the top lines of things, and you are all dedicated to that. So I am going to ask you, once we're done with introductions, like what might be a reason, what has Tithios Vec done to you that has caused you to be part of this vendetta? But let's start by having you tell us what you've decided on character-wise.
Yeah, hi. So my character is Turgan, who is a barbarian minotaur of the Gruul clan. The Gruul, am I pronouncing that right?
I think so.
Gruul,
We'll go with that.
Gruul. Yeah, Gruul clans. And I had actually thought a little bit about the connectivity. And I'm not married to this, so if this doesn't work, but I had kind of thought that Minotaurs, when I was looking at the Ravnica setting, they exist also in that Boris Legion, and so I had thought my idea is that perhaps my father had been in the Boris Legion, had been betrayed or framed for some crime, was dishonored and executed because of Tithias. Is it Tithias Vec?
We've been Tithios.
Tithias. When I was younger and I was spirited away and raised in the clans to protect me from Tithias. And since then, he is a member of the, I'd have to look now. I wrote it all down. Lots of pronunciations.
Yep.
The Zur-Ta clan. And so extreme interpretation of the old ways. And so he blames civilization and all of those things for what has happened to his father and what has happened to him. And he has fully adopted the ways of the Gruul clans.
So let me ask you then, like, how old were you when this happened?
Well, I'm open on that. I had kind of assumed young, a child perhaps, but I don't know if that fits again with kind of the rest of the setting. So I'm again not married to that.
So. Let me. So the group will be operating kind of in the city. They've met each other. They've kind of shared this work together, to do things to try and interfere with Vec's operations. So, like, what was kind of the turning point for you that okay, I've got to go into the city. I've got to kind of leave the wild side to go in to do this. Like, what changed? Was it a coming of age? Did something happen? What do you think?
Yeah, so I hadn't fully wrapped my head around that, but I do like
Sure.
what you just said about coming of age around the idea of his past was more revealed to him by his adoptive parents or whoever. I'm not and he's decided to go seek his vengeance at this point as part of coming of age.
So maybe
fully embracing who he is.
So maybe you had, they gave you some names, some like distant family within the Boros that you could call like you've got some connection there too.
Sure.
So tell me about what weapon wise, look wise, what are you imagining?
So I found a pretty cool picture that
Oh,
I
good.
added into there. So the kind of a big great axe, and tattoos all over underneath the fur, and symbols and tattooed all over, um, and the picture kind of says it all. So
Awesome. And there's some like when you do the character, there's the like the goals and
yep,
tell us about
personality traits
those
and whatnot.
traits, just so we have a picture of that before I
Yep.
kind of talk about people's connections.
Absolutely. So from a personality traits, I chose laws are for people who are afraid to face their inner beasts, and don't tell me I'm not allowed to do something. Ideas are the nature one. We weren't born tame or domesticated, so we shouldn't have to live that way. Um, and I did, excuse me, I did have for bonds, I'm devoted to a sacred site in the midst of the rubble. I have no idea what that means. It just sounded kind of cool, so I picked it. And the flaws is if you question my courage, I will never back down.
So let me ask you this. We've got our three other characters. So we're going to kind of we did this with the relationship cards, the backstory cards at the start, but we'll kind of do this a little bit more shaped perhaps. When you first arrived and were making your way around, it kind of got lost and confused. But, eventually, met up with some of these other people who also hated Vec. And probably right away, like, there's this cleric of order, which kind of seems like maybe a contrast, a tension. So tell me, at some point, you got in trouble, either together or apart, and our Loxodon cleric, the prelate, helped you out. How do you think that they helped you out, and how did that kind of build some bonds between you and him?
All right. Thinking
And
on
Jim,
my
feel if you
feet.
can ask Jim, have you guys can workshop it a little bit here.
So one thought as you're saying that immediately would be something having to do with strength. I think that he would respect. And so if there was, and I'm not sure, Jim, if your character is a rough and tumble at all. Their Loxodons are big. I know they're the elephant people, right?
Yeah. I mean, my strength is only 12, but my constitution is 16. So like I am not like I don't really fight, but I can take a lot of punishment. And so I mean to the extent that there's strength, it is, I can get beat up pretty bad. I've got a pile of hit points, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I suspect that so your whole thing about like what is your thing about laws for people who
Are afraid to face their inner beasts.
are afraid to face their inner beasts? All right, okay. So like, I mean, my inner beast is an elephant. So like it's I am very calm most of the time, and I'm sure like at least once you maybe that was a time you saw me, like I can wield the law like a scalpel, like a weapon when I need to.
Right. Yeah, I like that. And just I think just the fact of the at least one of the things I was reading, just to your point, your calmness, even though I revel in my rage, there's that part about the purity of who you are, and having faced and accepting that, as well as some of the fact that you're a cleric. So I do have a little bit of respect for having that I'm devoted to some sort of, I have something about me that is devoted to this sacred site. So
And-
maybe that
And I wonder if the other thing might not be a little bit of the fact that I just, like, from the first day I met you, have never acted afraid of you.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
You know, just like, yeah, you're like, you can be intimidating and you have a temper and all that kind of stuff and everything, but I've never been worried you're going to hurt me.
Yeah.
Yaros, let me ask you, this is our halfling, our rogue of the associated with the cult of Rakdos. What is your impression of Turgan? Because you talk a good game about the wild and chaos, but here's a huge force of destruction. Are you into that? Are you a little wary of it? What do you think your response is to that, Yaros?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm into that idea, right? It's sort of like the Rakdos cult wants to point out the foibles of society, and the Gruul clan, they might want to take it apart altogether. So there's certainly some commonality there. I think I probably see him as a very potent weapon that just might have to be a little bit careful that you're pointing it in the right direction.
Awesome. Joel, do you want to describe just sort of briefly what your druid is like? And then I'm going to ask Turgan a question.
Yeah. My druid is a Circle of Spores druid, member of the Golgari swarm. So very like the swarm above all else, like community focused, visually kind of like the creepy, goth girl with like spores and spiders and all that stuff, but relatively reserved, doesn't get too worked up or anything like that.
And the Golgari being the sort of the underclass, the fungus and decay and all of that. Turgan, in interacting with Serket and the Golgari more, now that you kind of come out to the outside world, what do you think you've learned about nature and what nature means? Has anything changed? Has it given you a new appreciation, a different view on it? What do you think that is? Oh, you're muted.
Good Lord, after all this time. I think that he appreciates and respects the aspects of that death and decay, that he sees those all as in his mind, those are all part of the cycle of nature, and the decay part, tearing down civilization and appreciates those things. Perhaps he's gained even more of an appreciation for the Golgari a bit, based on learning more and understanding their own ends and means around the decay of civilization.
Awesome. And just a heads up, we're doing milestone experience, so we're not tracking individual experience.
Okay.
Last time we had a chance for each of the players to kind of do a little home scene and interact with their people and so on. We'll have a chance to do that, maybe not tonight, but within this session or next session, for both you and Yaros to also get a look at that. But we're going to kind of start in the middle of things. And I will give you the brief on that. Did you have a chance also, Joe, to look at our safety tools, the lines and veils?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to take a quick look over there and see if there's anything big. Children. Okay. Just checking that so I make sure that we're on the same page. So last time the group found out that Tithios Vec is searching for someone, and it's a gnome, as they found out eventually, by the name of Vendaga. And they've been hunting around trying to find out what has gone on. what they're able to eventually discover is that Vendaga is a preys on tourists or preys on new arrivals into the district, into the city that come from outside, and kind of hangs around the yards where skyships come from other parts of Ravnica to here, to this district, and has two people that act as sort of associates, a man named Typhoon and a elf, or I should say a late elf by the name of Duranayar. One of them spotting and the other one as muscle. What has become clear is that when Vendaga was carrying out their activities yesterday, they took advantage of the fact that there was a Rakdos flash mob, and they helped somebody away from the site and lifted something off them. And what exactly that is not clear yet, but it is clear that this was something that was being carried to be delivered to Tithios Vec, and that Vec, once he kind of put two and two together about what had happened, sent people out, found a name, and then sent some people to get a hold of this Vendaga. In particular, two groups were put out there. One is the Dust Rats, and the Dust Rats got a hold of our late lamented elf and essentially put him in the dead book. And the group was able to, through speaking with a more senior Golgari corpse specialist, get some information. And they came across, as they were doing, as we're kind of leaving that, they came across this group of people who's the other group that Vec had hired, led by a woman called the Widow Sales. And she has a crew with her, and she warned the group off, but the group was a little in her face, and they eventually kind of reached a stalemate, but they backed off. That led to eventually, through the corpse and through other things, the knowledge that Typhoon, this other partner of Vendaga, had fled to hide out in a apartment block that the group was able to track down. They know that Typhoon is there. They're hoping that Typhoon will lead them, or at least give him more information about what's going on with Vendaga, or maybe Vendaga is there. It's not entirely clear yet. But when they arrived there on this 7-story building, very much the image that I put in the head is the Judge Dredd apartment block, the overpacked, busy, a little bit the Raid here, kind of look to this place. When the group arrived, they saw one of the Widow Sales gang people who they had spotted before, clearly on the doorstep on watch. So they know that the Widow Sales is here. They know that Typhoon is here in the building. And that is where we left off last time. What I'm going to assume is that at some point a message was dropped amongst your group, and that word was spread, and Yaros and Turgan kind of cross paths and show up with you, Prelate and Cirquette, at this point. One last mechanical thing, because of the sort of magical pact that you have forged within the group, Turgan, your weapon is blessed. So your weapon is considered magic. and is +1 to hit and +1 damage. Prelate, you're like, okay, how are we going to handle this? We're going to play this quiet. We're going to play this loud. How are we going to do this? This might require some discretion. And that's when you see Yaros and Turgan coming.
And I kind of, I raise a leathery eyebrow to Serket and I say, the option to be discreet appears to be fading fast.
And I think Serket just kind of looks confused and then looks over her shoulders. He who's coming in is just like, yeah, that might not be an option anymore.
Turgan, Yaros, you were called out. You received this note that they found out something about Vec, and you arrive on scene and you see Serket and Prelate look like they've been at it for a while. They have the look of people who've been hitting the streets and have been busy for a while today.
Yaros, I see that you received my message and that you've brought Turgan.
Of course. I mean, we need our muscle if we're gonna take care of this this typhoon. I hear he's has quite the reputation, but no fear. We're here now. I kind of take off my hat, give a little flourish, bow.
Go ahead.
So I point at the building. Is this where the rat is hiding? What are we waiting for?
We were waiting for you. We believe this is where the rat is hiding. We could simply be being led into a trap.
Well, one way or another, we'll find out.
I suppose we will.
And what would make you think that this could be a trap?
Because our quarry is aware of our inquiries and our pursuit of them. But Turgan's presence here means that any trap will have to be formidable indeed to contain us now that we are reunited again. Yaros, we will rely on your knowledge of, residences like these to guide us should we encounter any difficulty or have trouble finding where we need to go.
Yes. I know this kind of tenement well. I'd estimate you could fit about 3,000 halflings in here.
If they're stacked like cordwood, yes.
I think they would be. Okay, so out of character, what we had, so they had known that somebody who was associated with the Widow Sales was here.
Yeah, so clearly the Widow Sales gang, her group, are already on site.
And we can just see them.
Yeah, there's a guy standing on the essentially on the front stoop of this place.
It's like feels like a plain as day lookout, right?
Yeah. But he hasn't seen you all yet, and he only knows Serket and Prelate of the four of you.
Okay.
Do we want to make a this is your background? Maybe do you have a skill you think is appropriate to kind of get some basic information, things like that? Maybe insight or investigation, even survival. What do you think, Yaros?
Yeah, well, really, I'm looking for just any knowledge we'd have. The thought in my mind is that we'd approach this guy, or one of us would, and kind of try to pass ourselves off as, either a member of the Widow Sales or somehow an associate, just to sort of, I don't know, help him, have him let his guard down and figure out, are there more of them around here? Is it just him? Something like that. So I don't know if that's a possibility, but
it's certainly worth trying. You don't know much about the widow sales except that she has a decent sized group with her, and has been looking around. What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, I suppose I should run it by the rest of the party, but I was thinking, I suppose I could just go over there and, chat the guy up a little bit and, flatter him and just see if he's willing to talk about who he's associated with. I could say I'm a sort of a free agent looking for a job, very accomplished. And yeah.
Oh yeah, I am proud to be part of this plan. This is exciting to me. I'm very interested to see where this is gonna go. Does this feel like persuasion?
Yeah, persuasion maybe would be the skill. I mean, I could make the case for performance because that's I'm trying to sort of pretend to be I'm something I'm not, right? I'm trying to kind of make him feel a certain way.
Let's see. Are there any bardic tricks I should know about, or sorry, rogue tricks I should know about beforehand?
Gosh, I don't think I have anything on my character sheet other than my skill that would help me with that.
Let's have you roll performance.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, so 15.
15.
So
you head up. Tell me, give me a general that the line of patter is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with flattery. So it's like, well, hey, hello there. You look like a discerning fellow. I can tell that you know how to take care of yourself in the city. A man of brawn and also brains, clearly. I'm new here and I'm looking to, let's just say I'm not above doing some work that could be considered a bit underhanded. Who are you associated with? Who would I go to if I'm looking for work? Now, naturally, I'm sure that somebody who referred to their boss, someone as accomplished and skilled as myself, would necessarily be looked upon with favor. Who are you associated with here?
With the widow sales.
Oh, she sounds lovely. She sounds lovely.
But you, I'm on the clock right now. So.
Oh, what are you worried? Are you worried that you'll be in trouble chatting with me? Are there others around here?
Look, I've got work here to do. I'll give you an address. You want to go? You can go there, check on that. But the boss is inside doing business. So.
Oh, the widow, the lovely widow sales. She's inside, you say?
Yes.
Oh, of course. Do you think? I'm sorry. It sounds like she's quite busy.
Yes, she is. I'm busy too.
Right. Well, of course you are. And you're doing a wonderful job. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would hate to bother the widow and any of her sensitive work. I don't know. Do you think if I wanted to see her now, would she have a free moment? Are there others with her that might be able to see?
No, we're working. We are
right.
working right now.
Yes, of course. Yes, the widow is inside, and far be it from me to bother you or her any further.
Let me put a pin on that for a second. There is an opportunity here now, Sirket, Turgan, Prelate, that the Aros, this jaunty little high performance rogue, does have the attention of this lookout here. So if you wanted to, with that roll, if you wanted to slip in through one of the other close by entrances, you could certainly do that.
I think while some of this is going on, I turn to Prelate and I ask him, why hasn't he crushed his skull at this point yet? What is he? I don't understand what he's doing.
He is giving us the opportunity to get inside so that you may crush skulls inside. Each of us helps the group according to their abilities, Turgan. Trust me, when it is time for you to unleash that axe, I will be the first to commend you for doing so. But if we do so out here, we will never make it inside.
Understood.
Perhaps while Yaros is spinning his yarn, we should make our way inside.
I agree.
And I make a little after you gesture to Serket.
She'll like kind of do a little bow and try and sneak around, probably inconspicuously, like just to a large walk around where Yaros is, chatting up the one guard and try and sneak into the
Here.
side entrance.
All
We
you
are
have to
busy.
all you have to do to sneak is keep behind the two of us. I think that's
So the three of you can make your way inside. This is a building that's built with that kind of hollow atrium center and multiple stacked floors. Of that, almost looks like a prison in some ways. But you can see that strung across on each of the levels are, laundry and banners and baskets and things. So you can see up the levels, but there's a lot of sort of visual noise and clutter up there. On this sort like ground floor level, there's almost a kind of a small market here, different like tiny stalls and things like that. And when you come in, you will definitely see that there are clearly the gang that like manages the building, like sees the three of you come in, and that especially when an Azorius prelate, when Azorius comes in here, like somebody goes running to go and tell somebody that, hey, whatever the equivalent of is of 5050, they go and shout out. Serket, like, what is familiar to you here or disfamiliar? What is it that you would do when we get into this? It is a crazy hive of people and so on, and there's not much ventilation, and it's kind of got that heat that when a building gets the heat trapped in it.
Yeah, I think the thing that's familiar to Serket is like the efficiency of people, where these are people who've been working the market like every day for years, so they're kind of moving in sync with the people in stalls next to them, kind of shouting and bartering their goods. There's like a efficient flow that Serket kind of appreciates, maybe more than the prelates bureaucracy, which was very much hive-like, but in her mind it's not as efficient. So
Right.
Serket just kind of like nods a little bit and essentially just like joins the flow seamlessly, like moving with the crowd.
Yeah, you can easily kind of, if you fade in to the crowd here. Turkid, this is a lot of people in a very small space.
Yeah, I think he's slightly overwhelmed and distracted by the, I get the image of my head from the Conan movie when he first goes into the, there's all this stuff and I think he's feeling a little overwhelmed and might be thinking, and this is why we must tear it all down.
And like as you three are kind of looking around, you will see this Noel come cruising over to where you're at, like he's clearly been whistled up. And he says, Azarius, are you here to inspect the market, or is there some other business? Consider me the Bawab. I am the doorman, as it were, for the building. Maybe I can direct you to where you need to go, so your trip can be short, sweet, and you can be out of here quickly.
When was the last time that your roof was properly inspected?
It has been some time, Master Azorius.
Well then, perhaps you could escort me to the top floor.
Okay. It kind of looks at Turgan. Is this your associate?
Yes, this is my bodyguard.
Now, Sir Cat, are you like making yourself known to be with these three, or are you kind of keeping separate?
I think she's keeping separate.
Okay.
And probably when the null comes up, she like turns to a stall and starts looking at stuff.
Okay. This Knoll goes, please come with me. I will walk you up the best stairway up to the roof so that if you wish to inspect it, you may.
Excellent. You're most accommodating.
It looks, just to make sure that the Minotaur is also on board with this plan.
I kind of snort at him.
All right. And you will see this Knoll makes a series of hand gestures to the gang that clearly, indicates just keep an eye on me. I'm taking these two somewhere, but chill. And he'll start walking the two of you off that way. Yaros, you see that your three comrades get by and get inside the building. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll wrap up my conversation with the door guard. Thank you very much, my good man, and give a little bow, snap my fingers, and make like a little gold coin kind of, pop out from my sleeve into my hand and be like, for your trouble, my fine
Yes.
gentleman.
No objection to taking your coin. Yoink.
All right, and I will just head off around the corner, and once I get around the corner, I'm going to start scaling the wall, or trying to anyway.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see. What is that going to be here? Yaros, that feels like athletics, doesn't it? Or do you have a roguish talent that allows you to climb with ease?
Yeah, I guess this is a problem because I was also playing BX, and in BX, thieves can just climb, I think so. I'm realizing now that that's not the case in 5th edition, but I guess kind of make the case for acrobatics.
You can absolutely, given the balconies and laundry lines and all of that, I think acrobatics makes a perfect amount of sense.
Awesome. Okay, I will go ahead and roll acrobatics then. 17.
Here's what I love, by the way, about rolling with advantage is it does that by default, and you'll always see a better number on the other side.
Right, yeah.
It's
enough.
Yes,
makes you
curious.
turn off that feature because
It taunts you.
Always.
So I imagine we're seeing you clamber up. Let me ask you this. It's 7 floors up. Are you climbing up to one of those floors, or are you climbing up to the roof?
I think I'm climbing to the roof. Maybe my theory being that I might be on a little bit of the same page as the prelate.
Okay. Yeah.
He wants to. He wants to inspect the roof, knowing that they'll bring him up there and be worried that there's going to be holes in it. And I think I'm thinking the same thing. Like a place like this, I'm going to be able to just drop down in where I want to, because there's going to be like big rotten boards and stuff in the roofs.
Yeah. Also, I'll just remind you the other special ability you have from your pact is that short range, like 30 feet or less, maybe across a room, line of sight, you can speak to each other without being heard. Serket, you see this Knoll gang leader take Turgan and the prelate and kind of crosses over to what is clearly the secured stair. Like some gang members kind of fall away from it. This is the one that's kept clean for their use. And there's a lot of hush when the Azorius walks through, and not just the Azorius. And then they see the Minotaur behind the Azorius. Like people are like, "What's going on? What's going on, man? What's happening?" What do you want to do, Serket? Do you want to follow them? Do you want to ask around for information? What do you want to do?
Probably follow them, but I was
Okay.
kind of imagining, like, if they're going up on one side of the interior courtyard, Circuit's kind of like going up on the other side of the interior courtyard, like almost mirroring their movements.
Okay. And let's say that there's like two parallel sets of stairs. This one that you go up is clearly the public set of stairs. So it is crowded, it is filthy, there's stuff that's washed down. You're kind of climbing up. It is very much to your taste as you go up. The Knoll is taking the two of you up, and the Knoll will say, may I ask, Master Azorius, what does a roof inspection entail?
You may.
What does a roof inspection entail?
Well, it will depend on the structure and whether any modifications have been made in accordance with the safety ordinances that that we have on file.
He'll actually stop you like on the third floor landing, and he
Yeah.
stops and he turns and he puts his hands up in a gesture of, please don't beat me, but I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you another question.
Mhm.
When you say modifications, what do you mean, like rebuilding of the structure, or do you mean squatting residences, or do you mean something else?
Oh dear. Residences on the roof would be exceedingly hazardous for anybody who was living there. This is quite a tall structure. There absolutely should not be anyone residing regularly upon the roof. Certainly you don't have anything like that up there, do you?
Master Azorius, I wonder if I could spare you some time.
I am going to ask you to consider your next words very, very carefully. I serve the Azorius Senate. I do not serve myself.
I understand that. Believe me, I understand that. If you were to return tomorrow or even the following day, I could guarantee that the roof would be clear of any problems.
I fear that I am here today. However, if I were to speak to the superintendent of the building, whomever is responsible for maintaining it, perhaps the person you report to, we may be able to have a discussion about that.
Master Azorius, he laughs in that way that Knolls do, where they kind of sound like a hyena.
Yeah.
He says, we have no superintendent. We have a landlord, an owner, and he lives a precinct away. He comes with his people to collect the rents and get his payments, and then he moves along. That
Who is
is
the who is the head of your tenants association?
I guess if you were to ask people, I would be the head of what constitutes the tenants association.
Ah, well, to the roof then.
As you wish. You see him eyeing you up and down. There's that moment where he's like, how much trouble would I get in for having these two murdered? And he's like, probably a lot. If they sent Azorius here, they did. No, Azorius just walked in here on his own. And he's got a Minotaur with him. That Minotaur's clearly a gruel. That's wild and uncounted. And he says, all right, let us proceed to the roof.
I smile. I nod at Turgan. See, my friend, sometimes a conversation can get you what you want.
And I snort again.
Yaros, you'll get to the roof before anybody else, clambering up the side, and you will find a landscape full of hastily built squatters' tenements and illegal water retention barrels and all kinds of stuff up here. It is kind of a mess up top.
All right. I think I don't know how our telepathic communication works. Do I just like
Line of sight? You have
okay,
to see them.
sight. Okay. Yeah. So I think I'm just going to kind of start skulking around, kind of ducking in and out behind like the little barrels and shanties and stuff that are built up here. Just kind of looking around either for my friends or for anything of interest related to our reason for being here.
Absolutely. So you're checking around. You can kind of see where the exits are from here. Kind of check on that. It looks like there's like in the center. There's kind of a hole through. But other than that, they're just the stairs up and down. I think you can get a pretty good sense of the landscape up here, and get that viewpoint. You definitely see markers that tell you, this is a gang run building. And does that seem like fair sense of things? Okay. Sirket, you're about to go up to that 7th floor, to that last floor before the roof. And you will see another one of the widow's people there, kind of standing lookout, but they're not looking out at the stairs at anybody coming up. They're clearly standing at the door, kind of watching, like in case anybody were to run this way, kind of thing. What do you want to do?
Okay, so they're like standing at the entrance to like an apartment, essentially.
No, they're standing like the top door of this stairwell
Mhm.
opens out onto like the balcony hall that goes around. And this guy's standing there, like hand on blade, in case somebody were to come running.
Okay.
They're clearly watching for that, rather than say somebody coming up behind them like you are.
Yeah. Let's see. And I need to refamiliarize myself quickly with my wild shape, because I don't think I can be particularly small stuff yet. Can I say like transform into like wild shape into kind of like a smaller animal that maybe I've seen as a pet in the tenement, like a large cat or a small dog, and just kind
Yeah.
of like sneak through?
Yeah,
You guys
that
like-
that seems fair to me.
Perfect.
So is there any cost or any role for the transformation, or is it just
It just expends one of my 2 uses that I have.
okay? Then you turn into a very shaggy, moss and flea ridden dog.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Uh,
Like just dirt on the underside, like a dog that's been outside and
yeah,
like
this guy
bearded.
kind of looks at you as you go past. You kind of trot on in, and you can see. So we've kind of described that there's the balconies are 4 balconies. There's 2 north-south and 2 east-west.
Okay.
You're on the north-south across from where Turgan and Prelate are going up. Okay. And you can see on the sort of east-west and the far end, you can see there's like some people that are clearly like moving into position. Some of these gang members, you'll actually see what looks to you like maybe some sort of magical automaton, like an animated set of armor. And it looks like they are like moving into position to raid the little apartment row that's on that side down there.
Okay. Can I see like Turgan or Yaros from where I'm at?
Yeah, I imagine that the stairwell isn't completely enclosed. I
Okay.
think you can see across the way through the ropes and things. You can see them. They're probably just hitting the 6th floor landing there.
Okay. Yeah, the like telepathic or like eyesight connection we have probably doesn't work too well when I'm wild shape, but I think I like bark a few times to try and get their attention and then do the whole pointer dog at the people about to raid. Try and point that out to people.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Mhm.
Turgan, Prelate, you're there kind of just about to kind of get up to that 7th floor landing when you hear that weird telepathic communication that you get when you invoke the pact between you all, but it comes out as barking. What do you do?
I mean, we're on the floor. Oh, well, it's clearly we know that it's
You look
so
across,
yeah, right
and
nearby.
you see that like across the way
Mhm.
at the 7th floor, like 1 floor from where you're at, you see this mangy dog head popped over and barking at you, and it's carrying into your ears, and then it's going like this, like.
Do you have some kind of tell, Sir Cat, that like something that like when you wild shape into something, we know it's you?
Maybe he has mushrooms growing out of the fur.
Mhm. Yeah, I think there's always like either the animal looks venomous in some way or there's like mushrooms or something like that just screams poisonous. So since it's a dog, it's probably the like matted dirt everywhere and then kind of like mushrooms caught in some of the like matted
Okay.
dirt clusters.
So it's not just a dog. It's not like a corgi yapping at us or anything. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. All right. And you know what? I just turn to the knoll and I say, "Oh dear, that animal appears to be ill," and just start making a beeline right for it. Come, Turgan.
So you will kind of move up to the 7th floor, and I think when you do that, you kind of look towards the direction that he's pointing at. You'll see again. You're on the both of you are on north-south across the gallery from one another, but you'll see at one end where the kind of east-west balcony is. You see there's clearly a group of people that are moving to like kick in doors and pin people in. And let's take our first break there, and then I will show you the map, and we will get set. Sound good? First break is 10. We'll be back at about 10 after then. Okay. So, Turgan, there's been a lot of talking and walking in dense areas, and all of that, and you will look down the hall, down, and you see that, and that seems to scream that something is happening there. I'm going to show you the map. I have hidden some areas with fog of war in a truly unsophisticated manner. But I'm going to move you over to that. If I can.
Well, it certainly wouldn't be a 5e game without a little fog of war and a
Yeah.
map. So
so you will see there are 4 doors into the hall there. It looks like one of the doors is open. You can see there are 4 thugs sort of spread out on there. You are on the end that has the 2 thugs. So essentially you're on the left-hand end. That's the hallway that you're kind of come out on. And you see that there is on the other side, the hall that Cirquette's on, there is like an animated suit of armor. The lines are to indicate clotheslines and all of that across that. That is a precipitous 70+ foot drop in that gap. What do you do, Turgan?
I feel like I'm being baited.
I am baiting you. Yes, I am.
Yeah, I was so out of character. I
Sure.
was if we do things that we feel are in the realm of what our character would do, I mean, we're okay with that, right? I mean, it isn't always about like metagaming it, I hope.
Yeah, we're exploring this out. This is the first time, like on a serious
Okay.
op, that the 4 of you have worked together. If we get in a position where somebody feels like what's doing is detracting from like other people's play, then we'll stop and we'll X card or rewind or whatever
Sure.
we need to do.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking he sees all of this and he's like, enough of this talk. They're right there, and he's going to start marching right down the hallway.
Okay. So why don't you can you make a token for Turgan? And we'll put you on the map there.
Okay.
And if everybody else could make a token for themselves, I think you can just drag and drop is my recollection, but I may be wrong. There we go. There's a prelate.
How did you guys do that?
You just like click the mouse on your name where the where your character is, and then hold the button down and literally just drag it over to the map, and whatever you have as your icon will pop up as a 1 square token. You guys got it?
Okay. So. Okay. I'm going to kind of move you down to this thug here, Turgan. And Cirquette, can you put yourself on the map and we'll get you up there?
Yeah, just having some technical difficulties.
It wouldn't be a Roll20 game without technical difficulties.
There we go.
Okay. So I'm going to put you kind of at the, there you go, the top there. So I am going to assume, Yaros, that you, by the way, have kind of poked your head through either down one of the stairwells or through the hole in the thing in the center, and well, see that this is happening. Sound good?
Yes.
Yes. So conceivably, you could get the drop on someone here. But let's start. Turgan, you're going to get to act, and then we'll go to initiative because these people are occupied elsewhere. I will give everybody kind of a chance to do something, prep or follow up wise, because these people are not looking for people coming up behind them. They are in fact working on their own plans. So what do you want to do, Turgan?
Okay. The first thing that popped in my mind is mildly gruesome, but I think so these are just like human, they're roughly the same size as me, maybe not
They are.
quite as
Oh no, they're
tall,
smaller
big,
than they're
so
not. They're your standard. You know, they're some sort of human or alternate human or humanoid race folk gang members.
I want to essentially kind of pick that first one up and throw him at the second one,
Okay.
if I can do that.
Yeah, let's do that in this way. Let's have you make an attack roll.
Okay.
Okay. And let's see what happens here.
All right. Is that like an unarmed attack roll or just?
Yeah, I think an unarmed
one of
attack
the-
roll.
All right, I've used Roll20 before, but I don't know if I've ever done that. It didn't add an unarmed attack to my list of attacks. Is there a simple way to do that, or?
Let's see. Just do your armed attack, and we'll kind of read from there. We can redirect.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I could just use the horns one, I suppose.
Oh yeah. So that is a 19, and looking at this to kind of give me a sense of the strength of it, you rolled, nearly max on that. So I think that you will grab the one thrug by the back of his leather surcoat and fling him at the other one. They will both be knocked down, and some incidental damage, which I'll mark for them, but they're at a disadvantage right now. Like they are knocked down. They're going to have to spend a round, pulling themselves up, and anything they do on this next round, turn one, is going to be at a disadvantage. Prelate Drintle.
Yes. I step up behind Turgan and I say, and whatever, while he's doing his rah, like that, after he's just, like bellowing at him, doing the bull bellow. And I step up and I just lay a hand on his shoulder and I say, I'm glad you're here, my friend. This is the sort of thing that we need you for. And my hand glows and I cast heroism on him.
Okay.
So a willing creature I touch, as long as I concentrate on it for 1 minute, it's imbued with bravery until the spell ends. He is immune to being frightened and gains temporary hit points equal to my spellcasting ability modifier at the start of each of his turns.
Ooh, okay.
When it ends, he loses any temporary hit points. So I have a 16 wisdom, which makes my spellcasting modifier 3.
Okay.
So Joe, Turgan gets 3 temporary hit points at the beginning of every turn.
And those will reset but won't stack, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Sir what do you want to do?
I think, I mean, I'm just a dog to them, so I think Cirquette just kind of gets closer here and
Yeah.
pokes her head out around the corner.
Yeah, you can move up. They're not going to pay any attention to you, especially once the Minotaur has thrown some of their people down at the other end. So you can place yourself anywhere up to, like, say, I'm going to ping an area there. That's about as
Okay.
far as I think you could get.
Okay. Yeah, I
Okay.
think she'll just be like hiding behind the boxes, essentially.
Okay. Yaros, you see chaos start. What do you want to do?
Yeah. Okay. So just to make sure I'm visualizing the space the right way, if I'm up on the roof and I'm sort of like crouched down, looking through sort of the hole in the middle of the roof, am I
Yeah.
able to like see then like down and across at
Oh,
what's
yeah.
going on?
And there's
And that's-
ropes there. You could try and like grab, swing, and climb anywhere along those lines.
Well, for now, am I in a good enough position where I could shoot my bow?
Yes, you could. Just don't roll a 1, because I'm assuming you're like holding on with your legs to something solid up there. You know,
Yes.
a 1 would mean you'd still fire, but I think you would lose your grip up there.
So my other question is, do I roll with advantage? Since they theoretically, they don't see me or whatever.
I think asking for that is the right thing to do, and since you were bold enough to do so, I will give you advantage on this first roll.
Okay, perfect.
Who are you shooting?
I think I'm gonna shoot not one of the ones that are already down.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for the next closest one. So this one here, if you see where I marked on
Absolutely. Absolutely. The one kind of in the middle there.
in the middle, yeah. All right. So if I do hit, I believe this would count as a sneak attack, but let's not put the cart before the horse. See how I do here.
So an 18 will hit. Absolutely.
Great. So we'll go ahead and so that's 8 damage plus I'll roll my sneak attack. So an additional 2, so 10.
10 points. So there is that thing. He's kind of like he's standing at the door watching and listening, and then shunk gets this arrow, kind of turns, like it sees you, kind of drops down below the line of the balcony to get out of the way of you. But that's 10 points. That is a significant amount of damage for him. Let us roll initiative, shall we? I will add everybody to the thing. I'm going to put you. Let's see. Clock up.
There's a thing that's not going to happen all that often.
Get this up there.
I'll go ahead and get a hot dog or something when.
Good. I'm going to actually clear everybody out of the thing because I've got stuff left over. I'm going to add people. Okay. All right. So I'm going to add people to the turn tracker. And you can type in your initiative there. All right. So, Prelate, you shockingly go first.
Yeah, that's not a thing that's going to happen all that often. So let's see. So then, I mean, my buddy just hurled one of these guys down. So yeah, so I will kind of step around the corner. And I will, as I walk by the door to whomever is on the other side, I will say, stay inside. We are here. We will protect you. I assure them that they, that we have them in mind. And then I'll just step up, and that first thug that's closest to me, I'll just kind of come around the crate and pull out my my mace, and thump him on the head,
Okay.
just
Yeah.
to subdue him.
He's close enough to take a move up to him. He is at disadvantage. So what that means to you is you'll have advantage on the attack.
Fantastic. All right, so let me roll my mace attack here.
I'm going to move you up next to him.
Fantastic.
Was that a critical?
That is a crit, I do believe.
So that is 8 doubled is 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what does that look like? I mean, you don't take him out, but that is a walloping
Oh,
hit.
he's still standing after getting hit like that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Boy, okay. So
They
he is
have,
not.
they
he's
have
not-
32 hits.
Oh gosh, so he's not standing. But it is, I come around and, and just, the mace comes up, and I think it comes down just like thump in the middle of his back as he's trying to, like foist himself up. I just, whump it into his back, and he back down, kind of wind knocked out of him a little.
Absolutely. And can you see the hit point bars so you can see? I just want to make sure that I've got it set so you can see
Oh,
those.
sweet. Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay,
didn't
yeah, I
realize
just
that
wanted
was
to
a
make
thing you
sure
could do.
that's
Yeah.
working. Yeah, so just
Yeah, that's neat.
boom, hit
Yeah.
him. He's trying to get up and he does not.
And I say, in the name of the Azorius, stay down.
Uh,
I don't think that's going to work. Out of character, I don't think that's
yeah,
gonna
no.
work.
The one that is further away is going to kind of crawl back, get behind the crates, and get his bow out. And I think, given his position, they got knocked down, so on. It's going to take his full action to get over there, get to cover, and he does shout into the room, "It's that Loxodon! I don't. They've got a Minotaur, a different Minotaur." There. This thug is going to stand up and take a swing at you. As he kind of steps back, it's not going to be a great swing. He's going to be rolling with disadvantage. So let me get that up. So the lower of the two is 5, and I assume your armor class is more than 9.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Nope.
So
think
he
that-
stands up and essentially gets his short knife out and tries to stab at you, and doesn't do it.
My tough leathery skin turns aside his blade. I actually don't wear armor.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that you're
I do have a
this-
shield though, so
yeah. This thug is going to get his bow out and move over so he can the following round take a shot at you there, Yaros. This thug kind of moves to a little bit of cover now that he sees this is going on, and this animated armor will start kicking in that door. Let's roll for it. And it kicks, and you see that the door is already kind of starting to buckle after that kick.
When how do you think when that thug moves, can I use my Halo of Spores feature on him?
You're within 10 feet. Is that the range?
Yep.
Okay, then you may
Perfect.
use your Halo of Spores on him.
Okay, so he makes a Constitution saving throw against my spell save DC, which is 13.
I rolled an 18, unfortunately.
Okay,
So,
so the mangy dog just kind of shakes, like he's trying to shake out water, but nothing happens.
Yaros.
Is there anything like around this hole in the roof, like that I could try and duck behind or anything like that?
I mean, you can sit up and not have your head sticking down into the hole in the roof upside down.
Right. Okay. So I think then what I'll do is if that guy is getting into position to shoot at me, I will fire an arrow at him and then try and duck back out of the hole.
Okay. I think that will be at disadvantage for his cover.
Okay.
AC is an 11.
All right. All right. There we go. All right. 8.
So that will shoot past him. So he's got cover. You can take that fire and pop back up. And pretty sure you didn't hit.
Yeah. No, I did not. No. But then I'm trying to just kind of duck back out for now, at least.
Oh yeah, I think that's no problem with your acrobatic skills. And that wasn't a 1.
Right.
It
Okay.
was a 3. It was pretty close to a 1.
It was dangerous. I'm playing with fire.
Yes. Sirket, your action.
So I just Googled a Mastiff for 5e. That was the closest thing I could find to a dog.
Okay.
And it has a bite attack. So I'm going to do that against probably the thug, the kind of coward. I feel like I can sink my teeth into that a little easier than a suit of armor.
That does make sense.
So I will just roll a d20 since I don't have this attack.
Ooh.
9 plus 3, so 12.
12. Well, his AC is 11.
Oh, perfect.
So that will hit.
Okay, so on a hit, 1d6 plus 1 piercing damage. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 11 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Ooh, interesting. DC 11. Well, I critted. He is standing proud. But how much damage does he take?
He takes 5 piercing.
Okay.
So the mangy dog basically just like latches onto his arm and is just kind of hanging off of it as he's shaking it around.
Out of nowhere, this dog comes and starts gnawing on him, and he's like, "What the what?" And he's working to shake. Turgan on 4.
Let's see. So what I want to do, but I think I'm probably too far away, is I want to run down this hallway, leaping over those boxes and attack this guy, the one that's down there. But
What's your
I
move?
might just be.
These are 5-foot
I think
squares.
I think it's 30. So I think I'm
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is it like? Yeah, it's a little bit long for the reach on that. You're using not a spear or anything like that.
yeah. So I think instead I will move up and attempt to finish off the thug that Prelate is engaged with.
Absolutely, he's still at a disadvantage.
So with my big bad great axe. Okay. So
That'll hit, and 13 points will drop him. He is gone. And that's great axe, right?
yes.
Okay.
And then
So we can assume you moved like here.
yeah, if I have any ability to move left there, I'd like to put myself diagonal up 1 so I'm in between Prelate and the dude with the other thug.
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead and move yourself there. I think that's fair.
Okay. Right there. And then I will again bellow and enrage.
Okay. I will do this.
Secretly joy, but appearing outwardly as rage.
That's what we want to show people. At the end of the round, that door comes open and you'll see a figure kind of step and to look and sees you, prelate, and is gonna throw a dagger at you. He is at disadvantage because he just popped out of here. But +4. Holy moly.
Oh, whoa.
Wow.
A palpable hit.
Wow. So for those of you at home, he rolled with disadvantage, but he rolled 2 nat 20s. You're gonna
Roll
take
20.
you're gonna take 10 points there, Turtle, as he buries this dagger in you as he throws it.
Well, there goes all the 20s for the rest of the
I
evening.
hope I use them up, but inside, she's gonna move there. She's gonna make a look out. He's gonna move over to there. The other room with the door that's open, you can hear some pounding, like somebody's trying to kick through a door in there. So let's see. And let me roll a d20 for him. Okay. And then we'll roll that for him. Okay. Okay. All right. So she can see that. He knows that. And we will give him. And he goes on 6. All right. Top of the next round, Prelate.
Yeah. Do I have any idea who this is? Could I?
This looks like
at a glance there.
He's come out. He looks like you're guessing that this may be one of the Widow Sales informants. Like this is one of her people here. Maybe the person who sent her the information. He looks like not like a full thug, but maybe an information finder, that kind of thing. And he's clearly opened the door and just thrown the dagger desperately. And maybe he's going to bolt. Maybe now that he's hit you with it, maybe he'll follow up.
I hold up. I reach down and hold up my little gavel that is the symbol, my holy symbol.
Mhm.
And I say, stand down in the name of law. Actually, I would say in the name of order. We are here to help you against those who would against these people who are seeking to assault you. And I will use Channel Divinity.
Okay.
Which, as a cleric of law, of order, I have something called Orders Demand.
Okay.
Let me put that in the, so that's what it does. I can use my Channel Divinity to exert an intimidating presence. I present my holy symbol. Each creature of my choice that can see or hear me within 30 feet must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed until the end of my next turn or until it takes damage.
Okay.
And in this case, it's just him.
Okay.
Well, actually, am I within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, I may as well try to get that thug as well, since he's in my 30-foot range. Wah, wah. All right.
Let me say, I've run 13th Age a lot on Roll20, and every game as a GM on Roll20 with 13th Age, Roll20 has betrayed me. So I don't know what is going on here. If this is some sort of karmic payback for me, but
keep talking, pal.
yeah, that will turn.
me and my 9 hit points are not real consoled by that.
Yeah. Thugs. We've got one thug who's going to take a shot at you there, Turgan. What is your AC?
It is 14.
14.
He also wears no armor because it's for wussies.
So this +2.
Or he didn't get any in his initial build.
Fair enough. He will hit you with an arrow for 5 points.
All right. So 3 of those come off the top with those temporary hit points, right?
100%.
Also, if you're in rage, I believe that the damage against you is halved, if I'm not mistaken.
It is, but I haven't raged. I am,
got it. You're
yeah,
just doubling in rage, but
I am.
you're not
Yes,
actually
I am.
rage.
Yes. In the pause here, I was thinking to myself, I should have, because that's a bonus action. I should have just done that at the end of that turn.
if you wanted to affect that, that's no problem. It's our first combat with this. If you want to have used your bonus
yes,
action,
because that's the very first thing I'm going to do as a bonus action in the next combat.
Okay.
So if nobody minds, I will. And so, just I can put it in the. I think I actually can put it in the thing. It's a giant thing, but advantage on strength and strength saving throws. Bonus damage, and then resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. So
now my assumption is that you take 5, temp hit points will come off, and then you'll take half of what remains. Or those of you who are D&D savants, is it the other way around? Do you have it and then take the temp hit points? What do you think, Jim? It's your spell.
So, I mean, if he's taking half damage, you half the damage, and that's what he takes.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll round that. We always round down. So 2 points. So you have 1 temporary hit point left.
okay.
Okay. That will reset. The thug that was firing at Yaros kind of is looking up, waiting for Yaros to pop out again. And the thug with the dog on him is going to try and hit you there, Serket. What is your AC?
As a dog, it is just 12.
Okay.
Why?
You're going to take 10 points.
Okay. I'm gonna do my Halo Spores feature also, though, since it's the start of his turn.
Go ahead.
So he does a con saving throw.
Okay. What? What?
I feel sorry for all the rest of the games happening on Roll20
Oh my
right now
God.
because the algorithm has sent all of the 20s here.
Yeah.
And there's somebody in another game who's getting ones screaming like this in another game.
Wow. Yaros.
I've never seen such things.
This is the wildest thing I've seen.
Okay. So is it possible for me to run, sort of loop around and try and like come down another way, like a stairwell, so that I kind of come in to like the side of these guys? Does the layout allow for that?
So that would take a couple of turns to do that.
Okay, so I'd be running a little ways then. All
Yeah.
right.
At a double move, like what's your move rate? It's 30 or 35?
I think it's 25 since I have short legs.
Okay. So there are 2 ways that you could do that. You could spend a couple rounds. You could make your way to the stair. The other option is to like try to drop swing over there with an acrobatics.
That's what I'm gonna do then. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. Jump, try and like grab onto a clothesline. Swing, slide down.
Let's have you roll that acrobatics roll.
All right.
10, yes.
Okay. The guy now has a goth girl biting his arm.
Oh, okay.
Acrobatics.
We should
Here
just
go.
assume a 20, right?
All right, 17.
So 17. So yeah, where do you want to put yourself? I think you can put yourself anywhere along that balcony.
Yeah, I mean, I think is that like, gosh, no, I don't want to be standing on top of something right at the edge. That's dumb. Maybe just like right, well, here, I'll distract myself if I can, like
Okay.
there-ish.
All right.
Um,
And
Show
do you
up
want to
yesterday.
attack?
boy, yeah, if I can after that, yeah.
Yeah, you're a rogue. I'm going to let you do
Okay.
that. I'm going to let
All
that
right.
be your movement.
Okay, perfect. I will take out my short sword and, oh, actually, I'm gonna try and push him over the edge. I want to land next to him and then just kind of like grab one of his legs and try and like hoist him off balance and push him over the edge of the balcony.
What's your strength bonus?
-1.
Interesting.
I'm doing it. I'm hopefully doing it with subterfuge. You know, I just kind of landed next to him and it happened suddenly, and I'm hoping to catch him.
Well, he's been waiting for you to pop out.
Right.
I tell you what, I'm going to take a shot at you, but I'm going to let you make that attempt to flip him over the side. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay. What is your armor class?
It is 14.
He misses. Fires off that shot at you as you come swinging in at him, and he misses. Let's have you roll. Oof. Let's have you roll.
So this is just a push. Like regular 5e rules, you can always just
Yeah.
push somebody instead of doing damage to them.
So let's have you make that attack roll.
Okay. Do I have to use strength for my attack roll, or can it be?
Oh yeah.
Because it's a push, yeah.
Okay. So what I should do is, since my proficiency bonus is 2, right? But my strength is -1, so it's +1 to the attack roll. Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put in roll 1d20 here.
Do you have inspiration that you might want to use for this so that it works?
Everyone started with inspiration. I don't know if you spent
Okay.
it in that first combat.
I don't believe that I did. Yeah, I mean, is that something I can spend after I roll, or do I declare it now?
I believe you have to declare it before you roll.
I'll declare it now then.
Okay.
So roll 1d20. Okay, so that's a 17
Okay.
plus 1 would be 18, and then I'll roll again since I already declared I was using that. And that one's a 2.
Yeah.
So I'll take the 7. I'll take the 18. Yeah.
What does that look like? Like, how do you get the leverage to flip him over the edge of this?
I'm thinking that when he was aiming his shot at me, he was actually sort of like resting his arm on the balcony to steady his shot. So he kind of had his weight a little bit forward. He shoots, misses, and then the next thing he knows is I'm next to him. He's still kind of leaning a little bit, and I just like grab one of his legs and pull it up, and get my
Absolutely.
shoulder under his rump, and just shoulder him right over the edge.
As much as anything, he seems surprised that a halfling was able to do that. And we hear the Wilhelm scream, "Ah!" as he goes over into the tangle below. This spy is going to hoof it. He was just here to get people on site. He does his dagger is in you, and he wants out of there. He's only on the table in case you want to stop him, but if you don't, he is going to keep running. Cirquette.
Yeah, I will. Okay. I am going to use my symbiotic entity feature. So I use up a wild shape feature, and the poisonous plants and mushrooms that are kind of in Cirquette's hair, like bloom and just get more vibrant and brighter. Like the spores are just kind of more noticeable, where before she was like Linus from Peanuts with just kind of like spores in the distance. Like
Okay.
now it's very visible. I get temporary hit points. I get 8 temporary hit points total,
Nice.
and I increase basically my spores damage, but that takes an action, so I
Oh, it does take a
cannot.
regular action. Okay.
Yep.
That's
So
still
I
nice.
Yeah,
We'll
I will
we'll
take it.
boost that up. Turgan.
All right, so he's going to keep moving forward and attack the thug,
Okay.
the next thug there. Visually, I'd like to imagine that he just leaps at him with that big axe over
Oh,
the
yeah.
top, but not looking for any mechanical other than the fun visual of that. So
Perfect.
let's see. And then, okay, so I gotta I'm sorry, there's a rage. Oh, there's a little place here called rage damage. I think I just checked that and it gives me extra rage damage. It's institutionalized my rage.
Still, that's a rat in the Roll20 page.
All
Whoa,
right.
2 23s, 2 17s.
So 11 plus the 2 rage damage.
So 13 points. Yeah, you will hit him, and that's nearly half what he has left. And drop him back. He will kind of probably fall back into that doorway there from that hit. And that was Turgan.
And he would. I'd moved to there.
Yeah.
So I imagined it.
I'm going to roll for that. Not getting through over there. This. Okay. You will see from where you're at, that set of armor will kick in that door over there and starts into the room. Prelate. Temporary hit points resets for Turgan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What am I gonna do? I mean, my friends seem to have things well in hand. You know what? I'm gonna poke my nose into that room and see what's going on in there.
Absolutely.
Whether he left anyone behind or
I will
or what's up.
reveal a couple of areas here for you.
Just kind of move right to here into the doorway.
You come in here, you see there's this connecting door that's open between the two rooms, and you will see the Widow Sails in there, and she's telling this animated armor to kick that door in, and it's working on it and not having a great time of it.
Oh, so the armor is working for her.
Yeah. You still have an action.
Man. Yeah, I do. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is holler at Turgan. She's right there, get through the door. Actually, I don't need to holler it at him. I can tell him silently.
Exactly.
I say to him in his brain, I've spotted the Widow Sails. She's right there. And then what I'm going to do is go to that door, slam it shut, and just throw my shoulder against it so that she can't get out that way.
Okay. Yeah. There is a bolt on it, so you can throw the bolt.
Yeah, I'll bolt it. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and move yourself over to the door, and we'll assume that exit has been blocked off for her. Thugs. All right. I've got, oh, this thug went over the balcony, so we can remove him from the thing. Get this here. Oh, I have to get back to that. We'll remove him from the table. We throw him down south. Turgan, this thug is going to attempt to come at you. Draws blade. What is your AC?
14.
14.
Have at it.
Okay, he gets 2 shots at +4. He will miss, but he will hit with the second one. And he does 5 rounds down. It will do 2 points of damage to you. So essentially, he steps up with that sword and does 2 quick slashes. Only the second one lands, and it's a glancing blow off of your berserk hide.
My blessed hide, apparently.
Yes. This other thug is going to attempt to push you away, Yaros. What is your, not Yaros, Serket. Serket, what is your AC?
Now it is 15.
Okay. So essentially, he reaches out, grabs, and shoves you about 10 feet down, like puts his muscle into it. He's clearly trying to get you out of the way. So we'll move you down there.
Yeah. When he starts his turn, I'm going to use my Halo Spores feature.
Then please resolve that. Does he just have to make his save?
Yep, the con save.
Okay. Ooh, not this time. What happens to him?
He takes, since I have my symbiotic entity, just 2d4 necrotic damage.
Okay. Necrotic.
6
points is 6 points. Like he pushes you away, and then he starts coughing as those spores kick up and catch him in the face, and he's trying to like get you away. He will, of course, associate that with pushing you, so he might not try and do that again.
Perfect.
That were the 2 thugs that were left. We're back to Yaros.
All right. I think I will draw my short sword and kind of dash past Serket and attack this that thug with my short sword.
Perfect.
All right.
AC is 11.
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
that is a hit.
21. Yeah, so 7 damage.
Okay. Yeah. So he has taken more than half his hit points, and you cut into him with that. And you can probably see at the corner of your eyes, see that armor kind of, it's not really moving into the room. It's kind of scanning in the room, like clearly looking, and you hear some shouting from inside that room.
Okay, in that case, could I also use my bonus action to disengage from him? Well, actually, no, I'll be staying in his range, so it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I want to use my last 10 feet to kind of move over here.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And,
Yeah.
Stab him and then tumble across and take a look at what's going on.
Okay. I will reveal the room in a second. The spy takes off. And I'm going to reveal this room here. If I can find a little reveal areas thing. You will see this armor standing in the doorway. There is a guy kind of cowering in the corner, and there are a couple of his goblin pals who are, one of them is clearly running for the window to run out onto the ledge. The other one is clearly running into the other room. They're like, see ya. And then it's Serket.
Okay. I will get closer to the thug that pushed me away and use Primal Savagery. So like Cirquet's nails kind of elongate into like really sharp jagged spikes and otherwise kind of look normal, but underneath the nail bed there's like a vibrant green viscous liquid, and I'll take a swipe at this guy for 15 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, so he takes 10 acid damage, and then when I do a melee attack, since I have symbiotic entity, he takes an additional 1d6 necrotic. So he takes 15 total damage.
What does that look like when you drop him with that?
I think like Circuit takes the claws and kind of like jabs it into his gut. And essentially when he falls down, like her hand just kind of goes down with him and then just pulls it out and like flicks off any of the liquids that may have accumulated.
Oh yeah, he just and drops from that attack. Pull him off the table. Turgan on 4.
All right, so he'll stay engaged with the thug that he is in the doorway there.
Okay.
So
Whoa. So what does that look like? Because that's a critical hit alongside nearly max damage. What happens to this guy?
so you know, he had slashed me before, and Turgan steps back and roars and leaps into him, cleaving him, you know, across, and then he kicks him through the doorway to in a pile of gore, I suppose.
Yeah, both halves of his body go flying in from your kick and the piece of this, and you'll see this this gnome essentially spy assassin, you know, see you in the doorway. Wow, she has to make a decision here on her action.
And I imagine at this point I am quite covered in all of that as well, so I must be some shade of gruesome sight as well on top of it all.
So clearly you cut through the thugs. She doesn't know exactly what's happened out there. She knows that the prelate slammed the door shut, so for like her exit on that side has been narrowed, and you just cut one of her thugs in half and kick the parts in here. On the other hand, she's under orders to get this guy, and if she runs, she's going to have to leave behind both those suits of armor, which is some significant outlay on her part. Probably bought that for the operation. That's some gold down the toilet. She,
I mean, on the upside, if she gets an axe through her face, she won't have to pay it back.
yeah, she runs and leaps out the window, full rogue running there, and she essentially see her shout "kill" to leave them with the last command as she leaps out. And the animated armor is going to move towards you, Turkin, because you're in the doorway now at this point, I assume. And it's going to over towards you and take a swing. AC is
14.
14. Okay. So one hit for 5 points as it swings its sword at you. Two swings, and only one of them connects. So again, 2, and if you still have, if you have your temporary hit points, then you won't hit that.
And those sort of reset at the beginning to 3 at the beginning of that last turn.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Prelate, you hear the sound of a smashing window, and I think you can read the circumstance of that. What do you want to do?
Throw the bolt and look through the door. I see her, whatever, the soles of her shoes as she is out the window. Yes.
I'm a rogue.
Yeah. For a moment, I contemplate trying to grab her, but then realize that that's probably not going to work. So I say, stand fast, my friend. And I step up behind that animated armor.
Okay.
And and as I do, I am tapping the head of my mace with my little gavel. Bung! It makes a rapping sound as I do, and the head of my mace glows. And I will attack this thing using an ensnaring strike.
Okay.
So let's see. That's next time you hit a creature with a weapon attack before this spell ends. And so it charges up my weapon, and if I miss, it still stays charged. I can try and do it again. So up to a minute. So let's see what we got here. Let me make a mace attack. Okay, let me note that I used that spell. Then
AC is a 15. They're not high-end animated armors, but they're still animated armors.
Boom! That 18's gonna clunk him.
Boom. So that will do 14 points.
No, that can't possibly be right. Oh,
It rolled critical damage because the second roll.
Because the second one was
okay.
Okay, got it. So it's 8.
It's 8 points, and the netting effect is
it's 8 points, and glowing golden chains wrap themselves around it, and on its turn, it I should just drop it into the thing there so that we've got it. Hang on a sec. Let me do this. There we go. It must succeed on a strength saving throw right now, or be restrained until the spell ends.
I will make that saving throw.
Yeah, okay. It throws off the chains before they can wrap around it.
Yaros on 13. You'll see this armor kind of come to attention and look around Terminator style, trying to decide which of these 3 people in the room it's going to murder.
Oh gosh. Okay. I was hoping it would just freeze there without orders, but oh my goodness. And those goblins, they're not out yet. They're just sort of climbing out.
Yeah, they're like, whoa, we're out of here. Sorry, buddy.
I think I want to just sort of tumble through past the armor here. Grab one of the goblins and just try and kind of like shove him toward the armor.
Let's have you make an attack roll with strength.
Okay. All right, so 3 + 1 is 4.
Go to grab this goblin, and he is like, "Not today!" And he's slippery, and it looks like he ate something greasy for lunch. It's all over his shirt, and he slides through your fingers, and he's like, "Good, you fight the armor, not me." Cirquette,
Yeah, I will go here. I'm not gonna get in front of it, but kind of like from behind. Do the same thing, use Primal Savagery, and just like rake down his back, or try to rake down his back.
Absolutely. You are behind it. It is focused. I will give you advantage on the attack roll.
Okay. So 13.
But not enough.
Not
This
enough.
thing's armor is, it's metal, and you kind of rake your hands across it and does not land.
Okay. And that will be my turn.
Turgan on 4.
Okay, so I find this thing repulsive. It's a very unnatural, and I will attempt to destroy it because it's disconcerting to me.
AC's a 15 as you swing back at it. That'll hit. So that's 12 points, right?
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, that slam, you slam your axe into this thing, it kind of does that step back. It tries to clear the spell engine in it, tries to compensate and get back into position, and it's going to raise its sword and take 2 swings at you. And both will hit. So 2 points and 2 points.
Alrighty.
So you take a little bit through the temp hit points that time.
I don't. Oh yes. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting to reset those.
Yeah. So you basically you'll take 1 point through.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll see that once again that the blessing that you put on him, prelate, is deflecting those hits. All right. Let's see who the armor is going to attempt to kill now that it has 3 targets in front of it. It marches across the room to attack Typhoon.
When he leaves my space, can I do an attack of opportunity?
Absolutely.
I am going to try and like pretty much primal savagery him in the back as he's leaving.
Okay.
So
that'll hit.
Okay. And then since it was a melee attack, do the extra D6. So 5 total damage, 4 acid, 1 necrotic.
Yeah. As he moves away, ignoring you, you're able to get your claws and actually, tear a bit of the armor away from this thing.
Perfect.
It misses with the first blow, and it lands a heavy blow with the second shot on Typhoon there, and kind of knocks him to the bed. He's not dead, but it was a significant hit there. Prelate.
Yeah, I will just continue to hit it with my mace.
Okay. You are in behind it. It is occupied with the other foe. I will give you advantage on this attack roll.
I will not say no. All right. So let me.
If it were a normal combatant, it would, try to maneuver to get a little bit of room, but it's clearly very basic.
I will take that 20, but it is a mere 3 points of damage. Alas.
3 points of damage. Still cracks it for that. You can see that. You can tell that the energy that's holding it together is starting to give way. That smell that you get when these kinds of defense machines start to stop.
Mhm.
And we're back to Yaros.
I'm thinking we want this Typhoon to be alive so that we can question him about what's going on.
That does seem to be the purpose.
I am going to just move over to the bed and that he got knocked down on, and just kind of like grab him by his shirt and just say like, you need to, if you don't want to die, let's get out of here right now. I'm your only friend left. You don't know me, but we have to go. And I'm going to try and like pull him toward the window.
Okay. Let's do that as acrobatics.
Okay.
And this guy's run. This guy's out of the ledge.
Eight.
As an 8, I think you will get him over to that window. Now, I have a question for you. You don't do this particularly well. So are you more interested in getting him through the window first? Or if this armor comes after you, are you putting him between you and the armor?
I'm prioritizing getting him out the window.
Okay. So we see him at the window. We see you there. And you can see it turn. It's going to try and cut through you to get to this guy, Cirquette.
Kind of seeing that, not only is our like target in trouble, but also my comrade. Circuit kind of like takes her venomous claws and like sticks them in the poisonous spores to like drag out even more poison. And I will cast Ray of Sickness on the armor.
Okay.
So I think, yes, I make an attack roll. Did it do it? No, it didn't. Okay, so I will just do it the old-fashioned way. So 12. I don't think that does.
That
it
will
right.
not hit it.
Okay.
Cast that out, that ray kind of just miss as it shifts over to step and take a couple of swings at Yaros. Yaros, what is your AC?
It is 14.
14. 2 swings. A miss and a miss. 2 complete whiffs. You are dodging out of the way of this thing as it swings its blades, trying to cut you down and get it Typhoon.
It's that halfling luck,
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Turgan.
All right. I feel obviously he's still locked in the armor. Really, just it's still active. So I guess I'll just continue trading blows with it, with a big smile on my face.
Absolutely.
As smiley as minotaurs can be, I guess.
That blow, what does that look like when you've dropped this thing? Where do you hit it? Where does that strike land?
I think it's he ends up swinging up with the axe, and it takes the head right off of the armor, and then I think when the head comes off the rest of the pieces just crumble and fall down.
Absolutely. Comes crashing to the ground. And that's right. Prelate, behind you, you will see this door come flying open, and you see this goblin come running, kind of look and go running for this other door. This goblin gang member is running out that way. Prelate.
You know what? I turn and I pull out a very heavy coin purse and I shake it and I say, and I say, I am offering a reward leading to information for what's her name again?
Vendaga.
Vendaga. I'm offering a reward leading to information that leads us to Vendaga. Chink, 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 chink.
The sound of the coins brings this
Yes, yeah.
this goblin to a stop. Straightens himself up. Sir, okay, you are in luck. I may be able to assist you.
Very well.
He will halt his passage and turn and come over to you.
And I will. Oh, is there still a fight going on in the other room, or?
Yeah, you can hear. In the,
All right. And then I say, so I say to him, I point at the bed and I say, wait here. And I flip him a coin, so that he can bite it and make sure that it's the real thing and stuff. And then I say, there will be more when I return. And I turn to Turgan and I say, we should help. We must help our friends. And whatever, head in that direction.
Yeah. What's your movement rate?
I think it's a regular 30, like
Okay.
everybody else. I think, yeah, speed 30. Yep.
So 6 squares
One, two,
on a standard
three.
move. If you're doing a
Yeah,
double move, if you're spending
prob-
your action on moving, you can move 12.
probably put me through the. Well, I think I spent enough time yakking and paying that
Sure.
goblin that I think through the door into the other room next door to see what's going on there. Sounds about right to me.
That feels good to me. Yaros.
Yeah, so I think I'm kind of like pushing Typhoon out the window, and I'm just telling him like, find the nearest balcony and jump now.
Okay.
And then I'm tumbling right out behind him and
Okay.
Jumping to the nearest balcony.
Let's have you make an acrobatics check. So that is a 12. I think you will get Typhoon out on the ledge. And I think you can swing your way to safety, but he is not going to be swinging anywhere or jumping. It's 70 feet down. What do you want to do? Do you want to stay there, or do you want to get yourself a little bit safer?
I think if he's not jumping, I'm just gonna take a deep sigh and position myself back in the window so that I'm still between him and the armor.
Okay.
Swear under my breath,
So he's out here. You're kind of positioned there. Cirquette on 4.
I will, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'll get in here in between Yaros and the animated armor. And then just with my extended, nails, try and rake up into the guy's rib cage, basically.
Roll to hit.
Okay. So that is a natural 1.
That is a natural 1. So you go to swing at it, and it kind of knocks your claws aside and then brings its blade swing with, again, that snicker snack of 2 shots at you. What's your AC?
It is 15.
15. So 1 will hit, the other will not. So 5 points.
Okay.
And your temporary health. What does that look like when your temporary health goes away? Is it just robustness, or is there an effect for it?
It's kind of the how the flowers and mushrooms and stuff got very vibrant. So I think some of them start to wilt a little bit and kind of return to normal. Some of the flowers might close up into, close up for the night essentially.
Okay. Yeah. Chops into that see that effect, Turgan.
So I think he'll just, seeing nothing left to kill in front of him, I'm thinking he just follows Prelate. You know,
Okay.
so he'll and I think there's no reason not to take full, you know,
Yeah.
his full movement.
I
So
think a
don't
full
know.
move will get you to the doorway of the other room. Essentially, you can get yourself to there if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do
So that
that.
you can see what's going on. Your druid has stepped in the way and taken a couple shots from this thing. Prelate on 18.
Oh man. Yeah, it's just kind of. Oh boy. Oh, you know what? Is that other goblin gangster gone or
He's
or
out in
what?
the out in the balcony, like looking back, like trying to figure out what's going on.
I will pull the same move with him.
Kind of shake that, you see him stop. He waits out there. Clearly doesn't want to go back in.
Mhm.
But he's like, okay, I'm gonna wait here.
Yeah. I just pointed the, whatever that. There's that little bench, over the outside. I just pointed that and say, sit there.
Okay. Just park myself right here. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we just got to beat up this armor now, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hold back and let Turgan just go in there ahead of me.
Okay.
We just need to deal with this device, my friend.
Yaros, are you kind of staying there, or are you trying to move Typhoon down the ledge, or something else?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a ledge she can stand on, I'm thinking that I'll just kind of turn to him and just be like, stay, and then poke my head back in the room, knock an arrow, and shoot it at the armor.
Perfect. AC is 15.
Okay. Okay, that is a miss.
That will
7.
miss. So you kind of fire it past. There's a lot of people in the room. You're kind of firing from the window. It's nice because you're not going to get shot back at. You appreciate that.
Right.
Cirquette, arrow come flying over your shoulder. You're facing down this armor.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna kind of do the same thing. Like I probably see Turgan in the doorway, so I know help is coming. So I just have to hold out a little bit. So I will take another swipe at this armor.
Perfect.
With another natural one.
Wow.
I'm pinned against the wall.
Roll20 is a harsh mistress.
Yep.
So yeah, you kind of again crack against it. Turgan, you may go before it goes.
All right. So full disclosure, my rage is over since I have not attacked a hostile creature or taken damage since my last turn. So I'm my normal fun-loving self now. So I will just leap into battle and attack the armor.
Okay.
And there's the coming down off of the rage.
Okay. So you take that swing and do not connect with it. Cirquette,
So
you are.
Hey, I'm sorry. Is there is it possible for me with the amount of movement I have left? 1, 2, 3. Is there? I want to. Is it possible to move around? I guess I can't get in between it and Cirquette, can I?
You can move such that it'll have to make a choice between two targets to at least
Yeah.
That seems fair to me, because it's clearly automated in its own way. If you move into its field of vision directly in front, it has to recalculate, and it might not take a swing at Sir Cat, or it might split the swings between the two of you.
All right, so I'm trying to figure out, I have,
1, 2. Yeah, you could easily do that. You've got 25 feet worth of movement, right? At least.
30 actually, so.
Oh yeah, yeah. So move yourself just above where Sir Cat is at.
Yeah, that's. All right,
All right. So let's see. I'm going to behavior. Okay. So it's going to take one shot on you, Turgan, and one shot on Sir Cat. On you, Turgan, a 12 plus 4 is a 16. Does that hit?
that does hit.
Okay, so that'll be the same. Oh, you don't have your damage resistance now, right?
Correct. So
So it's 5 points, and you still have your temporary health, your hit points there. And then on you, Sir Cat, will miss.
Okay. And when he starts his turn, I'm going to use my Halo of Spores feature.
Perfect.
So he does a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. So yeah, that will save.
Okay.
The prelate.
All right. I'll just come in behind it and try to keep cracking its armor open with my mace.
Take that shot.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
4 points of damage.
Okay. Crack into it. It's starting to give way. The mechanics of it, the energy of it. Yaros, you want to take another shot at this?
Yeah, I think I'll just like take a glance up to the corner of my eye to make sure Typhoon is still just right where I left him. Based
Yep.
on his seeming dislike of heights, I'm not too concerned that he's going anywhere. And then I will, fire another arrow in at it.
Okay.
And that is a miss. 13.
Oof. Sir Cat.
I am going to do the same as before. I'm going to do a little primal savaging. With a 10.
Wow. But a 1 for your roll with advantage,
Mhm.
just to keep that chain up there.
Yep.
Turgan.
We're still. I will attempt to end this.
Okay.
Famous last words.
Oh yeah. So that's a crit. So that's 14 slashing, right? Or actually, that's the bonus die. What I do is whatever your base was, and then whatever.
Oh yeah,
I think you take. I think you take this guy down. Like he's got 3 people in front of him. Bow fire, got the prelate on him. There's a spore cloud around him, and finally your axe just hits him in the right place, and the armor will crumple to the ground. And it gets real quiet. Can I come off the ledge now, please? I'm a little woozy.
But of course, sir. Yes, you'll find your room quite safe and accommodating now. And I'll kind of like gesture so for him to go first.
And everybody, you will see Yaros bring this guy, matches the description of Typhoon, in off of the ledge, and he'll kind of, he looks around. Hey, thank you. Who are you?
I have a bottle of kind of like sweet plum wine. I'll pull it out of my pack and hand it to him and say, "Oh, don't worry about that right now. You've had a hard day. This will ease your worries. We are friends."
Ah, good. I could use friends. That would be that would be good. I would appreciate that.
And based on what I saw from your gang members, I would say that we are indeed your only friends.
They're not gang members. I mean, they're just people I know. They let me crash here because there were people asking about me, like cutting me down and stuff. So,
Of course. Well, why don't you just rest easy there with your wine and tell us all about it? Who was after you, and what can we do to help? Clearly, you were in quite a sorry state when we found you.
you see him pause. He looks. Turgan, you're covered with blood. Cirquette, you look a little worse for wear. Prelate, you're standing there. He was still a little irritated about things, and he says, "So, my partner Vendaga, yesterday morning, she lifted this box from this guy who was coming in at the docks, and she brought it back, and she looked, and there were some papers and some kind of liquid in there, and she read the papers, and she told us that it's some kind of boost, like undetectable boost for the Lokesh bird races down at the Harrow Downs. They've got mages that scan for like stuff, but apparently this is like undetectable, like boost the big animal, undetectable, like guaranteed win kind of thing. And so she said she was going to check with her cousin who works at the racetrack. And we're like, cool. And so my partner and I, the others, we were getting our money together because we're going to go and make bets. But then the next thing I hear is there are people all over the freaking street. I hear that there's a Loxodon, and I hear that there's a gnome, and I hear that these rats, and they're all asking questions about us and looking for us. So then I hear my partner got gacked, and I came here to hide out. And the next thing I know, people are kicking in the doors.
And lucky you are that we were here to save the day.
Yeah. So what now?
Well, doesn't seem like your boss, Vindaga, was too keen to protect you, was she?
She's not the boss. We're an anarchic collective. We're partners. There's no hierarchy involved here.
Of course, yes. Clearly, you are a valued person.
Yeah.
Where is she, by the way? Why aren't they hunting her down?
I assume they are hunting her down, but she went to the Downs. They were trying, I know that's what they wanted, was to find out from us where she went.
So she's at the Downs.
Yeah, she's at the racetrack.
Oh, right. Enjoying a nice races.
Well, the races are tomorrow, so I assume that she's having her cousin get her in, and she's gonna spike one of the Lokesh.
Indeed.
We were supposed to meet up with her tomorrow, and she was going to tell us who to put the money on.
Right. Seems a foolproof scheme.
Yeah, I was very proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
Very happy with myself. Until this all happened, and then I got a little less happy with myself.
Yes. I think I'll turn to the rest of you guys and just kind of like shrug and say, like, anything else we need this guy for?
It's like technical difficulties on Roll20. You're just about to talk to you, and I can see you, and then the cough starts.
I mean, out of character, do we want to ask him if he knows anything about our guy?
You ask him, he says, I don't know who this was meant for, but it must have been somebody important. There wasn't like any names on it, but like clearly from what she told me and what we saw in the notes, like this like substance, like it taken a lot of time and effort to make.
Circa asks, like, do you still have the notes that came with the substance?
No,
For the
Vendaga's
container
got all
also?
that.
Does he actually have the substance?
No, Vendaga has it. She's we're just getting the money and we're going to meet up with her.
Ah, very well then. You will attend the meeting
Uh-huh.
and we will accompany you.
Okay, yeah, if you want to get some money together too, I'm sure we can, and especially like if it's more of us, it'll look less suspicious when we fix the race.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like this plan.
If that was what we were going to do, you would be correct. You are going to accompany us there, and we are going to apprehend her, take the substance, and none of this will happen.
Oh,
If you would like, however, we could simply accompany you downstairs and leave you in the lobby downstairs.
I am happy with the first thing you said.
Very well then.
And I think because we're getting towards the end, I think we can montage that. I think it is a beautiful day at the races. I think we see you going in, and I think we see you grabbing up Vendaga, grabbing up the notes, grabbing up what's left of the fluid, as there's a remarkable victory by the blue team today in the races. That's what we're going to take up next time. We can kind of do the fallout of that, and we'll do some like daily stuff. You may advance to 3rd level.
Sweet.
Sound good? And
Lots
if
of
you
choices at 3rd level.
yeah, that's I wanted to tell you now so you had plenty of time, because I know that when you hit 3rd, there's like the world opens up. Would you all mind doing a quick stars and wishes? Let's run through that. Joel, can I start with you? Stars being things you liked, stuff you dug, and wishes then being stuff that you want to see going forward.
Stars, I mean, I enjoyed the Judge Dredd, enter the apartment complex thing. That was a ton of fun. Stars to, Tim and Joe for either missing that session or just completely joining, getting caught up very seamlessly, and having it work within the narrative of like, you got called, you're like ready to meet up and scale the side of the building or act as the prelate's bodyguard. And I do like the dynamic between Turgan and the prelate, just like the most opposite ends of the spectrum that you could, conceivably have working together. So I think that'll be kind of fun to see in the future. Wishes, I think I'm kind of pretty much just to play the game. I'm looking forward to
sure.
seeing, like, now that we've got Vendaga, what's next? How can we muck up, Typheus Vex's plans next time?
Absolutely. Jim?
Oh man, yeah, stars for our new players for just I guess not new players, but for our players who missed last week, just jumping right back into it and and being up to speed on it. Tim, for your hail fellow, well met shtick that you have. I love that. That's very halfling rogue. The kind of like, hey, you know, the like what are your like Jim Rockford fast talking thing that you've got going on is a lot of fun. And Joe, thank you very much for doing the check-in about the it's what my character would do. That was really cool of you to you know, like I think, you know, when the fight's up, just, you know, do what you do, and that's awesome. But I very much appreciate that you know, that you kind of did that check-in to see what the temperature of the table was and stuff like that. That was very cool of you. So thank you for that. Joel, I love your like when I asked you what your tell was and you like had something ready to go right there, and just the idea that now we're going to see all kinds of animals walking around looking like, you know, a little rotten and with like toadstools growing out of them and stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes as a result of that. So,
right. Wishes, Jim?
Oh, wishes. I mean, I want to see what everybody gets at third level. I want to throw around some second level spells. That's pretty cool. I would love it if we could maybe get to narrate our misses a little in addition to our hits.
Okay.
One of the things that I like to do when I run D&D is I say, what does your opponent do that keeps you from hitting them? You know, like it's not like you don't know how to swing a sword. It's the goblin parries it, or they duck under your sword or something like that. And that just gives us just a tiny little bit of agency with those misses as well.
Absolutely. No, I think that's good. It's a good call out for me because my brain is always on, let's keep things moving. Like I'm always on that forward pace. So I appreciate calling out. I'll try and make sure I give those opportunities so they feel better. Thank you. Tim.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, the stars are sort of everything around the whole, I mean, really what the whole session was, you know, the infiltration of the building and everything that went with it. I really liked. I especially liked the way it started. I thought it was very cool how, you know, we kind of split up into 3 groups. It felt very like cinematic. It felt like Ocean's 11, you know, where like
right.
You'd have like the quick editing, like this is what he's doing, here's where he is, here's where he is. Like that was just a cool setup, the way it worked out. And Lowell, I like how you kept a pretty brisk pace of going between us, and we were each having our scenes, and then the way we eventually met up, just everything about that I think kind of hit all the right notes for me for what you know, what I was hoping it would be. It was spot on. And I also I like the way that we're running the 5e system. You know, it is a little more streamlined. I did some running of 5e games at like a local gaming shop here in my town, and I felt like one of the things I noticed is like the people there, they were extremely literal about the rules all the time, and that made the game very slow and made it hard to run. So I really like the idea of, okay, you're doing this thing, let's just roll your acrobatics check, and then we'll kind of narrate it from there. You know, so I felt I really like that idea of kind of the streamlining of the rules.
Yeah. I was hoping you'd roll a 1 at some point on those acrobatics, because that would have been fun.
Well, and that would be fun, right? Because it would be fun, like kind of like Jim said, it would be just as fun to narrate your catastrophic failure as it would be to narrate your success, right? So
right.
I'm sure the time, if I keep doing all this crazy stuff, I mean, eventually it's going to happen. So, maybe that's my wish. My wish is that I get to narrate some catastrophic failure, because that would be fun. Also, looking forward to kind of maybe, I mean, I'm guessing we're not going to be to the point where we confront Tithios yet, but maybe getting to see interact with some of his circle, right? We're kind of slowly.
Yeah. One of the things that have been suggested that I definitely want to do next time is we'll do a cutaway to Vec, like hearing about this and getting mad. He doesn't know who's involved, but we'll have that scene. We'll get that on screen. And even if you don't confront Tithios through the course of this, we'll at least put you in a position to do something to one of his lieutenants directly by the end. That's my plan. So I think that's fair.
Yes, I very much love that idea. So yeah, so that's what I'm hoping for.
Awesome. Joe, thank you for jumping in, coming, with both feet and picking it up. Is really appreciated. Stars and wishes on your side?
Yeah, no, I really appreciate the opportunity I was really disappointed when I didn't click in fast enough because I've owned the Ravnica book for a long time and have been super intrigued by it. And so no, this has been a lot of fun. So I think I'm stars to everyone, and I like everyone's characters a lot, right, in their own ways and how everyone's leaning in. I'll jump ahead to a wish. I'm really looking forward to. Joel, I really like this creepy emo goth thing person, right? Like I think if there wasn't already a Golgari, I may have leaned that direction myself. So I'm really digging that, and dude, I thought, Tim, I love your character. I thought at some point you were going to tie somebody's shoes together to put before you push them over the edge of the thing. I think that's a lot of fun. And Jim, I didn't think it was gonna, but this sort of yin yang thing could be a lot of fun through this whole experience and stuff. And then Lowell, I thought you did an excellent job of streamlining, of just using things. And Tim, you said it all, just not overly literal in everything. I've been in games. In fact, I haven't played 5e in a long time, relatively speaking, because of the rules lawyerishness that seems to come with the game in so many groups. And so I really appreciate the bringing in some of that more cinematic flair to it. And then you did a great job of, I thought, giving everybody opportunities to have a spotlight in situations where everybody was able to utilize their unique, everybody didn't have to turn into a fighter to play the game, right? Which can sometimes happen in D&E, and so it was great. I appreciate the welcome, and it was a lot of fun. And wishes, just I think more, right? I think just more exploring the characters, the relationships, the learning, seeking out about this whole and getting our vengeance. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Perfect. I think that's great. One of the things I want to definitely give time is, I know at third level you kind of make some path choices and some things. So one of the things is I want to give you a chance next time to kind of narrate, like, where do you pick those things up? What do you learn? Like, how do you do that? I want to make that advancement a fun chance to add some color. So I'm really looking forward to that. I had a great time running this. Thank you all so much. I am going to stop the recording.